Hi guys, welcome back to Virtually Hungry. My name is Chef Seyitan, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of making pilau rice. So if you did not watch Behind the Apron, you need to go back and watch it, because on today's episode we're going to be taking you through the process of making pilau rice from start to finish. Now, pilau rice is a staple East African dish from Kenya, and this particular rice dish is a very flavorful aromatic dish. It's a one-pot dish because everything gets cooked in one pot. You literally do not have to do anything aside from cook everything inside that pot. I'm going to be taking you on the process, and I hope you enjoy. So the base of pilau is the most important part of the dish, right? So we have spices here that usually go in. So this is cumin, this is black pepper, we have cardamom, cinnamon, coriander, and cloves. All of this were toasted and grinded into this beautiful powder. So this is what we use to cook pilau rice. Another vital thing that you need to take note of in pilau is the fact that you need to use a lot of onions. So we have 3 fresh onions here. We have caramelized onions. Then the base is going to have beef cuts as well, potatoes, fresh thyme and rosemary, just to give it a very flavorful base. And then we have chilies. So for the chilies, I'm using normal red peppers, scotch bonnet, and then this yellow pepper is called osin suka, and that is in Igbo. It's a very flavorful pepper, and I'm just using this because it adds so much flavor depth to dishes. I'm adding some garlic, some ginger, and this is for a fresh salsa that goes beside pilau. It's called kachumbari. It's usually a combination of some tomatoes, some onions again, and then some lime juice. And then for the rice choice today, we're using basmati rice. You could typically use any other rice you prefer, but then for this purpose we're using basmati rice. Let's get cooking. So for the garlic, we're just going to mince it as well. Crush and mince. You can also use ginger and garlic paste. So for your potatoes, I'd advise you do large chunks so that they can cook within the time that the rice needs to cook. Like I said before, we're using basmati rice, so that cooks quite fast. So just cut the potatoes in chunks that within 15-20 minutes, whilst your rice is cooking, the potatoes will cook through. So it's very important that you prep all your ingredients right before cooking so that it's easier for you to follow the process. So first things first, you put in your oil into your pots. The next thing that goes into your oil is the onions that we have sliced. And the aim of this, or rather what we're looking to achieve, is that the onions brown. So we need these onions to brown. So you can leave that, stir that, and fry it for like 5-10 minutes. Do not burn your onions, if not you're going to have a bitter taste in your pilau rice. So at this point we're going to be adding our fresh herbs. We have some rosemary here and some fresh thyme. Once this releases the flavors, then we would add the caramelized onions. At this point, I'll be adding the caramelized onions just for some extra flavor. Caramelized onions add this sweetness to the dish. So like I said earlier, this is a one-pot dish, so at this point we'll be adding our meats, our beef cuts, so that they can cook through with the caramelized onions, the fresh herbs. It smells so good already. So at this point, we're adding our pilau spice, which is a combination of cumin, black pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, coriander. This is so that the meat can cook in the spices and the spices release all the flavors. Now at this point, your beef cuts have cooked in the spices, in the herbs, in the onions. So we're going to be adding our garlic, our ginger, and our pepper. Don't forget that I mentioned that you can use as much pepper as you want depending on your spice tolerance. So this smells so good already. You can see all the caramelization happening. So we're going to throw in our potatoes. We don't want our potatoes to cook through because we still need to add our rice. So we're just going to leave this for like 2 minutes to absorb some flavors before we add our rice. So at this point, we'll be adding our seasoning cubes and a little bit of salt. Next up, we're going to be adding our washed rice. So we've allowed the rice and the potatoes to absorb some flavors from the onions to the spices that have been there, and then the pepper and all of that. So at this point, we'll add water. If you have stock, definitely please use stock. If you don't have stock, just use water. This is a 1-pot dish and all the flavors are trapped in there. At this point, we add the water. And then just allow your rice to cook, you know. You don't need to add too much water because rice cooks from steam and not the quantity of water you put in there. So just put a good amount of water and then reduce your heat and just allow this rice to steam and your rice will be ready. Alright, so whilst our rice is cooking, we're going to be making kachumbari. And kachumbari is a fresh salsa made out of tomatoes, onions, some cilantro leaves, and a squeeze of lime juice. So yeah, this pairs well with pilau because it brings out some freshness. It gives the dish some freshness, and yeah, it just makes you have a wholesome experience. So who has pilau, or rather who eats pilau without kachumbari? God, no. But yeah, so we have some kachumbari we're whipping up here. Also our rice is on fire. So you just dice your onions, small dice, and then we'll dice the onions and dice the tomatoes. Squeeze in some lime juice, some coriander leaves, and just put that as a side for your pilau. Those, because we don't want all of that water in our kachumbari. Thinly slice and then dice. And then squeeze some of the juice into our kachumbari mix. I'm putting my hands over it so that seeds do not go into the kachumbari. This is just to add some acidity to the kachumbari and also to bring some, you know, extract some flavors from the onions and the tomatoes as well. So we add a pinch of salt in there and mix. So then we'll pop this in the fridge whilst our pilau is cooking. Right before we serve, we would add our coriander leaves. Some people call it cilantro. And yeah, amazing. I'm trying to check if the potatoes are cooked through, the rice and everything. Are they cooked? Right now our pilau is ready. Smells amazing. Looks and tastes even better. So I'm going to be serving this with some kachumbari. Let's go plate. So there was this thing that they used to do for us as children when I was growing up in East Africa. They'd serve everybody's food on a tray and then we'd all have to eat together. At some point it was disgusting because, you know, everybody used to eat anyhow with children. We didn't really have table manners. But then growing up, I realized that there was a point to this. I have realized over time that food is a unifier. Food brings about love. There's so much power in food. Food makes you relive moments, and anytime I'm eating anything that I once ate when I was a child, I kind of feel that unity, the bond that food used to bring for us. So today I'm plating this food on a larger plate so that our tasters can, you know, eat the way I used to eat when I was a child. And I hope they enjoy it. And I'm sure that one of these days, when they both meet each other outside, they would remember that, you know, food did something. So yes, I'm serving this the way they would have served it to us when I was a child. They just pack everything and they say eat. And we used to eat and enjoy the food, and yeah, last to wash plates. But yeah, our kachumbari goes by the side. And then some chives for garnish. So this pepper is a pepper that is made in Rwanda. It's called akabanga. It's chili oil, and a lot of people used to use this as a sprinkle over their food because most times the food is less spicy. So I'm going to drizzle a little bit for our tasters so that, you know, they can feel the real East African vibe to the food. So I hope you all enjoyed the process of making pilau. Please try this at home and then leave your comment down below when you're done. Let us know how it went and how it tasted. Please like, share, and subscribe to Virtually Hungry. See you next time.